New this morning, 2 people are hurt after a crash in Lemoore County, North Dakota. The Highway Patrol says a pickup was pulling a trailer and was heading west on Highway 13 yesterday afternoon when it went through a marked intersection with Highway 281. Another vehicle on that highway hit the trailer, which detached and ended up in the ditch.
The pickup also ended up in the ditch. A 64-year-old woman was airlifted to a hospital for serious injuries. The driver of the pickup had minor injuries, but charges are possible against him. Fargo and West Fargo Public Schools are expected to release their back-to-school plans on Friday, and there is a discussion to postpone that date until September 8th.
The Valley Today's Callie Hubbard joins us live with the latest this morning. Good morning, Callie.
Good morning, Jordan and Lisa. Many look forward to Friday because, hey, it's Friday. But if you're a parent, teacher, or student that attends West Fargo or Fargo Public Schools, you're going to be especially excited because Friday is when school district leaders will be talking about their fall semester plans. So some are already talking about postponing the elementary students on school grounds for at least 2 to 3 days. There's talk about having middle and high school students doing strictly online learning. This is just one scenario released under the proposed plan by Fargo Public Schools. Parents are still pretty back and forth about whether their kids should or should not go back to school.
I think this is costing my kids too much to not go back to school.
We as parents, we got to step up our game and we got to make the decision for them. That's our job as their parents, is to protect them.
Fargo and West Fargo Public Schools also plan on talking about whether or not kids will or will not be back in the classroom. And then on the other side of the river, tomorrow is a day that many Minnesota schools are looking forward to, as Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will be talking about their fall plans coming up in his press conference. But of course, for more, download our Valley News Live app.
Callie Hubbard reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. Police training exercises can sometimes catch people off guard. So we want you to know about this one. FM area first responders will be all over Fargo's Hector International Airport a little later this morning for an active shooter simulation training.
The drill is being conducted between flights inside and outside starting just after 9 this morning, and it shouldn't disrupt any normal operations.
Let's get a check now of our Wednesday morning forecast, and we check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good morning. Things are looking really nice for us today. We've had a beautiful sunrise that we've been treated to. So I want to get that going on our time lapse here. You can just see the gorgeous colors and then the sun eventually peeking over the horizon, and just a gorgeous way to start off our day today. Now, there are some areas of some patchy fog to start off this morning that we'll want to watch out for here. But other than that, it's looking really good. Here's a look at our temperatures right now. We are into the 50s and 60s, 59 in Fargo, 55 in Grand Forks, 63 in Fergus Falls. That's one of the warmer spots. And now that the sun is up, we'll see those 60s return. But it's been a really pleasant start to the day with comfortable conditions. I mentioned that fog. Visibility is at a quarter mile in Foston right now, and over in Carrington we're less than a mile too. One thing though to note is this has been really variable this morning, which means it probably won't last very long. We're watching those temperatures rise as that sun is helping to warm us up, and that should help to dissipate that fog over the next hour or two. But something to watch out for now. We are looking pretty quiet on the radar and satellite map, just a few clouds down to the south. Other than that, it's looking like a good day to be outdoors. Here's a look at that patio planner. Expect to have temperatures on the rise into the noon hour, into the 70s, and heading into the afternoon, some low 80s. So a great day to just enjoy your time outdoors if you can at some point today. Make sure though you're wearing your sunblock. It's going to be a sunny one, and we are of course always concerned about protecting ourselves from the sun. And here's a look at the 7-day planner. It's looking good. We've got plenty of that sunshine as we continue on in the forecast. Tomorrow looks great. As we head into Friday, I think most of the day, in fact, the morning hours at least, will be pretty nice. It's the next 12 hours after that we'll want to watch out for that potential for some rain and thunderstorms. Doesn't look severe at this point, but as that cold front moves through, you know, that could stir up some stuff, and we could end up with some a couple of storms producing some heavy rain and some lightning associated with it, and that may continue overnight and into early Saturday. Once that clears, so far so good for the weekend, looking pretty good. Temperatures into the low 80s. Let's check in now with Devin Fry for the Valley Today's Traffic on the Move.
Thanks, Lisa. We're continuing our morning drive, finishing up this hour on I-29, heading south. Now, you can see the traffic flow here on our major roadways. It's been a little bit crowded this morning. It's about at the level that we normally see a little after the 7 o'clock hour, so we're slightly ahead of schedule here. Nothing too crazy, just, be aware that there are areas where the roadways do get a little bit more crowded, especially here on I-29. You can see the pretty consistent traffic flow over on the north side of things. That one does usually tend to get slowed up with the lane closure and reduced speeds through that area. So just be aware of that as you make your way out the door. Another thing to be aware of, lane closure in West Fargo on 9th Street West between 12th and 12th and a half Avenue West, as well as the lane closure on 32nd Avenue. It's very brief by 42nd Street. Just be aware of it there if you're heading west on 32nd Avenue. We're going to keep checking out the roadways, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
One person is dead after a 4-vehicle chain reaction crash in Minnesota. It happened yesterday afternoon on Highway 10 in Sherburne County. State troopers say the driver of a car crossed a median into oncoming traffic and then hit an SUV.
Both of those vehicles then hit a motorcycle, and a fourth vehicle ended up crashing into the SUV. The man driving the motorcycle was killed. Police say a man captured on surveillance video breaking windows at a South Minneapolis auto parts store in the days after George Floyd's death is a Hells Angels member who was bent on stirring up social unrest. The man was dubbed Umbrella Man for his all-black getup. His actions soon led to an arson that police say was the first of several that transformed peaceful protests into chaos.
A Minneapolis police arson investigator wrote in a warrant affidavit that police identified the 32-year-old suspect through an emailed tip last week. The fire spread and caused an estimated $500 million in damages. Barnes County authorities are looking for another jail inmate who hasn't came back from his work release. Now, this is the second incident in less than a week. Tyler Delmore left the jail around 10 Monday morning and was supposed to be back that night, but he never showed up.
Call the Barnes County Jail if you have any information on him. Now, another man violated his work release last Friday, but was back in jail Monday night. A county Republican board member in southern Minnesota is resigning after posting on Facebook an image that compares the state's mask mandate to Jewish people wearing a star in concentration camps. The Wabasha County GOP initially said its Facebook page had apparently been hacked.
But Minnesota's Republican Party chairwoman now says the picture was posted by a Wabasha County GOP board member who has since resigned at the party's request. The state GOP is apologizing for what it says was a disappointing post. We have updated numbers of COVID-19 in our area. In North Dakota, the health department is reporting 157 new cases with a 3.6% daily positivity rate.
In Minnesota, the health department is reporting 480 new cases. To get a full breakdown of the numbers and the numbers of deaths, just go to our valleynewslive.com website. Uncertainty surrounding the new school year and rising COVID-19 cases have parents trying to come up with the safest way to educate their kids. One option that's gaining popularity is the Pandemic Pod.
Parents are taking a look at homeschooling with other families, bringing a teacher into their home and then splitting the cost. Not all families can afford to hire an expert, though, but the pod is an option for families that want to keep their kids home for this school year.
It's just a tricky time that we just need to step back. There's no playbook for how to parent in a pandemic. There's no playbook on how to educate in a pandemic. We don't know what that looks like.
On Saturday morning at 10, experts are hosting a homeschooling session for parents who are looking for some guidance. We have more information on that event on our VNL News app.
More news from another college conference as the Summit League announces it will delay the start of fall sports until September 23rd, and the delay will result in a conference-only schedule for soccer and volleyball. The Summit League is home to both NDSU and UND.
The delayed start will also affect the competitive schedule for cross country, as well as the non-championship segments for golf and tennis. At the moment, the delay does not affect any winter or spring sports.
A highway near Pingree, North Dakota will be shut down today after a wind tower base rolled into the ditch. Take a look. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says some of the mechanical issues were the problem.
It happened yesterday on Highway 81, just a mile south of Pingree. Troopers say the road will be closed so that the wind tower can be moved and repaired. And here's a reminder for people in the Northern Valley. The cities of Grand Forks and East Grand Forks are spraying for mosquitoes tonight. The trucks will be out in East Grand Forks from about 8 tonight until 1 in the morning, and in Grand Forks from 9 until midnight.
The number of disease-carrying mosquitoes is climbing, but so far no cases of West Nile have been reported in the region.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: the average American only does this 3 times a week, and 13% of us say we almost never do it.
The answer is eat breakfast. Sometimes you're just in too much of a hurry to get it down.
But they say it's the most important meal of the day.
It sure is. All right. Well, the Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today, it rolls on. We have more live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up here shortly on the Fargo CW.